Greetings to everyone. Hearty welcome on 10th of September 2022 at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. We extend a very hearty welcome to all our brothers and sisters across the globe. We all have passed through very difficult times, very challenging times, right from 25th of March 2020, when there was a complete lockdown and all of a sudden everything was shut down. Everything had to come to standstill, no movement, nothing, confined to your residence, stay put inside, and whatever you can manage your own way. Of course, health was the first priority. We had to save maximum lives because there was a complete pandemic, and COVID-19 had a big toll on the lives. When we look back to 25th of March 2020, we all have come a long way. People have suffered a lot. Many have lost their business, their jobs, their entrepreneurship venture. A couple of things we all have suffered. Of course, education was also disrupted. Almost 90% people world over, they were out of schools, colleges, universities, institutions, wherever they are. Health sector, that also had the big challenges. But at the same time, one very important market, area, segment, and something very pragmatic to the economy of any country, because some of the countries are totally dependent on that, and that's called tourism industry. When we look at travel agents, tour operators, tourist transporters, domestic tour operators, international, inbound, outbound, and a couple of other organizations, including our hospitality industry, hotel industry, and besides that, aviation sector, airlines. So tourism, hospitality, and aviation, they got the worst hit. At the same time, when we talk about the revival and regeneration, repackaging, rethinking, reorientation, a couple of things have to be taken care of. What kind of tourism? Why tourism? Where all tourism? For whom tourism? And how much tourism? These are a couple of questions which are in our mind world over, which we are packaging and repackaging and rethinking. At the same time, because tourism being a subject of vocational studies, the education system, their skills, competencies, capabilities, and the children, the young boys and girls, those are getting trained, whether at the bachelor level or master level or higher level, or maybe they're the part of the skills programs. Each one of us, we have to repackage and we have to rethink. Let's take on the journey quickly for 10-15 minutes today. But I wish to share with all of you that today on 10th of September, we are starting a special program for you. Every evening at 8 p.m. till 27th September, you will be meeting the legends of the tourism, hospitality, aviation, the entire industry, the golden triangle. You'll have them together. But at the same time, because education, which is the foundation, which is the base, along with the skills, will get tremendous importance. Let's work on to Indian tourism repackaging post-pandemic. Let's travel together. Let me share a couple of slides with all of you, and we take on the journey together. Right. If we talk about repackaging Indian tourism, rethinking Indian tourism, let's look at what exactly people expect when they travel to different destinations. Each and every place world over, any country, any destination, everybody would say, we have got the best of mountains, we have got the best of waterfalls, we have got the greenery, we believe in all kind of tourism, ecotourism, nature tourism, adventure tourism, wildlife tourism, cultural tourism, heritage tourism, pilgrimage tourism, spiritual tourism, wellness tourism, anything we can talk about. But what is the most important thing? What kind of youth What kind of people are we preparing those are going to join this particular industry? That's something is very important. Are they really equipped? Are they having practical know-how? Or is it the industry which has to spend a lot of time on them? Welcome to Indian tourism post-pandemic. International Chamber for Service Industry, ICSI, extends a very hearty welcome, warm welcome, and it's a pleasure to have all of you together with us. This chamber had been organizing since 1994 Punjabi Pravasi Divas, and thereafter shifted to North India Pravasi Divas. And we are very happy that in 2003, the Honorable Prime Minister of India, then late Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, he gave Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. We are proud of 32 million brothers and sisters. Those are across the globe, and they are doing wonderful. Let us see, how do we get the linkage between the non-resident Indian, foreign tourist, inbound tourism, corporate sector, and the government interface as far as the policy initiatives, policy advocacy, what all has to be done innovatively, strategically, so that we are once again relaunching ourselves, tourism, hospitality, and aviation. COVID-19, we don't want to recall, we don't want to remember. Now, tourism, education, jobs, health, all that which we have shared, post-COVID, we are going to take care of, preparing for the future of tourism in a post-COVID-19 scenario in India and world over. How the world would look like in the post-COVID scenario and arena. Let's have a look at that. When we talk about tourism, it's a holiday and leisure activity. Does it get the priority in our other fields when we are having economic challenges, our business challenges, our day-to-day life challenges? So what kind of a tourism? How much tourism? And what was there before COVID-19? That also we got to look into and take into considerations. Now, resilience-based framework for reviving the tourism industry, when we look into the COVID-19 has given us the challenges, but at the same time, it has given us some new packaging, new opportunities right across the globe when we talk about tourism, hospitality, and aviation industry. And when we talk about resilience, what is the government response? What are the technology-based innovations? And particularly the local belongingness and how the consumer behavior is going to change. How to bring confidence in your employees that, look, we all are together in these challenges and in these challenging times. We all got to be together. We have to work out together. We got to plan together. We got to rethink together. And the transformation, when we talk about what kind of a sustainability, sustainable tourism, well-being of the society, that's going to be something very important. Mitigating the climate change and engaging the local communities are some of the areas which we very seriously look into. Technology and tourism, they both are going to play a very important role, particularly when we talk about our education ecosystem and our skills, competencies, and capabilities. Now, the digital education or hybrid education or blended education or flip learning, something in the brick and mortar in the classrooms and something on the ground which has to be done. At the same time, what exactly industries need would be, that also has to be taken into consideration. How do we move on to that? So hospitality, tourism, and aviation, they are inseparable. They are interdependent. They all make a golden triangle. And when we talk about rebounding, the post-pandemic, we have to create new avenues, new opportunities, new careers, and we have to rethink everything, how to package it and repackage it. Let's have a look at it, how India plans to revive domestic tourism. If you remember, the Honorable Prime Minister of India, during the thick of the pandemic and before that as well, he had given the appeal to the nation, everybody should travel at least 15 places. देखिए अपना भारत, देखो अपना देश, देखिए अपना own country, how beautiful it is, what all it has got to offer to the people. That is something very interesting which we have to look at. Now, first of all, rich culture of India, rich cultural, traditional values. There's so much because it's an amalgamation of culture which is available, which every tourist experiences. And our domestic tourism is much more in quantity as compared to inbound tourism of the foreign tourists. So we have to increase the inbound foreign tourism also, but at the same time, we also got to have multiplier effects further, which can take into consideration because the economic regional balances can come through the lens of domestic tourism. India's heritage tourism, we have got very rich heritage. And if you look at the UNESCO's heritage, declaration of buildings in India, what a beautiful heritage we have got. Oldest civilization, so much to offer to the whole world in one season, at one point of time. You have got summer also, you have got winter also, you've got a snowfall also, and something different. You can package everything, the country of all seasons at one point of time. That is India. Pilgrimage tourism, it's getting lots of boost now. You're having special train, you're having special flights, you're having special surface transportation. Roads are getting carpeted in India. You can travel smoothly, wonderful way from one place to another place. And that's what we have to take into consideration. Indian Railways is also going to start a lot of new trains. And if you remember Gati Shakti and a couple of other things, 75 new different trains which were announced by the Honorable Union Rail Minister. Indian cuisine, wow, what a fragrance, what an aura, what an aroma. When you have these dishes being laid out, you feel like tasting, you feel like enjoying, and at the same time, do remember the Vedic food, which is made from the Indian spices, very good for your health, very good for your stomach, very good for your wellness. Rural tourism. India, majority, we live in villages. And when we talk about villages, this is something very important we have to take into considerations. Now, let me just think about rural tourism in India. When I'm talking about this, what exactly is there in rural tourism? India still is rural. India is rural economy. We got to work it out. If India is still rural, then why not to promote agritourism, nature tourism, ecotourism, and wildlife tourism? All that can be a part we have to take into consideration. Let's take on when we plan and when we take into consideration Indian wildlife tourism. When we talk about, that is also something amazing which nature has bestowed to all of us. We got to enjoy that. India has got a rich flora and fauna. We have got tiger reserves. We have got wildlife sanctuaries. We have got national parks. There's so much being shared and there's so much being offered in our country. Why not to enjoy all that together? We should work out, we should plan it out, and we should take it together. So wildlife tourism is another area which has to be taken care of when we think about Indian tourism. Folk dances, tribal dances. We have got such a classical dances, musical journey. India has got such a beautiful traditional music instruments, dances, and at the same time, you've got rural dances, you've got urban dances, you've got folk dances, you've got tribal dances. All that has to be taken into consideration, which we all enjoy. So let's take on the journey when we are together onto that, and everybody can enjoy, because dance, music, that's an integral part of our life. Indians are jubilant. Indians are celebrating the life all the times. And that's what the gesture we give to the visiting tourist as well. Film tourism, film-induced tourism, cinematic tourism, that's another area. Radio, television, theater, music, films, whatever we talk about, and particularly now, AVGC. And when we look at the new avenues which is coming through the digital technology, so your content writing and your other areas, film tourism post-pandemic, there are great opportunities which we all can take on. Ladies and gentlemen, also Ayurveda, Ayush ministry is there, wellness tourism. There's a sector skill council also for the wellness, medical tourism, foreign, tourists coming to India for medical treatment. That also is another area which we have to take into consideration. So Ayurveda, wellness, medical tourism, that's another which we have to take into consideration, because Ayurveda, yoga, Unani, Siddha, and homeopathy, all that is the integral part of that. And we all know World Tourism Day is being celebrated world over every year on 27th September. This year, the theme which has been given by the World Tourism Organization, WTO, from Madrid, Spain, that is Rethinking Tourism. What a beautiful, packaging what they have given. Rethinking tourism. That means let's think what kind of tourism every country, all of us, we need. And we got to package our tourism according to the need and according to the requirements of the country. This pandemic has also taught us in a very hard way that we got to be more cautious, we got to be more conscious, and we got to focus on live together, live with nature, respect nature, be part of nature, because it is nature and we are the integral part of nature. That's what we have to understand. And if you take that into consideration, because human beings, as long as we all live with nature, we become the part of nature, we respect nature, we worship nature, we live in harmony with nature, the world is going to be peaceful and world is going to be beautiful. You will not have wars. You have not to have arms and armament factories. Nobody will have a fear of anyone. And nature, integral ecosystem is something very important, which we all have to understand. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the new world post-COVID-19 and International Chamber for Service Industry, ICSI. We will talk about in the next couple of days. We are starting series today. It will go till 27th of September, which is the World Tourism Day. And we will be giving you every day valuable inputs with regard to future of tourism, which are going to be the emerging trends, what are going to be the emerging niche, what are going to be the new styles of tourism, and at the same time, what would be the shift in the traveler's expectation. All that we will take into consideration. And initially, you would like to travel to the green places. The future is not big metros, congested places. Rather, people would like to go to nature and be the part of the nature. That is something very important, which we all have to see. We will go to the nature trails. We will go in the wilderness. We'll go in the wildlife and national parks and the tiger reserves, where there is an ecotourism. There's a soft adventure tourism, where there's a green tourism, where there's a serene tourism. And the nature is calling all of us. We got to see it from that point of view. Why not to take a trip to the northeast part of India? There are 8 beautiful states in northeast India. And if we all travel together to northeast, take a trip once, travel in one's lifetime to northeast, you will You will have amazing, amazing impressions, and you would love to travel to Northeast again and again. So, our chamber vertical feast, that is Forum of Educators and Skill Providers for Tourism, which is for policy, which is for research, which is for academics, which is for skills, which is for technology, which is for training, and which is for industrial partnership. We all come together from today onwards till 27th September. You got to meet lots of celebrities on this forum, on this platform, where we will deliberate, we will discuss, and we will educate ourselves. In 2001, under the dynamic and dedicated leadership of Shri B.K. Goswami, former Secretary Tourism, Government of India, we initiated Feast, and it has come a long way, and we are moving ahead now with the new energy and synergy with all of us. So, ladies and gentlemen, whatever your mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Let's come together. Let's make tourism happening. Let's promote domestic tourism. Let's make tourism as an integral part of our education ecosystem. Whether we are at school or we are at college or we are at university, as a part of the vocational, we got to respect our country. We got to love our cultural heritage. We got to have the fragrance, beautiful fragrance of our own cuisine, and we got to have the beat of our own folk music together. Look forward meeting you tomorrow, once again in the evening at 8 p.m. Tune in, come to the YouTube channel ICSI India every evening at 8 p.m. and together we will make tourism happening. We will make tourism grow. Thank you very much for joining us today. Look forward meeting you tomorrow again at 8 p.m. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.